What's up, Disco Ball Nation? How's everybody doing today? It's your boy, Disco Drafts. I hope you guys are ready to win your fantasy football leagues, whether it be best ball format or redraft. If you implement this concept, this theory, and these 5 stacks that we're talking about, I guarantee you it's going to exponentially improve your odds to win this season. We've done over 70 best ball real money drafts on Drafters Fantasy. We've done over 50 mock drafts. We've also done over 8 dynasty leagues. So we know what we're talking about. We got the experience. It's only July. So please stay tuned. I guarantee you, if you implement this right here, you are going to exponentially increase your odds to win. So without a further ado, you guys are like, oh, it's July. What the hell is a stack? Okay. So a stack is when you take 2 players from the same team and draft them on your fantasy roster. So ideally, a stack is a quarterback and his greatest receiving threat. So very typically, you'll see a quarterback and a wide receiver. Last year, we had some killer success with quarterbacks and tight ends, but let's talk about why we implement this and why we use stacks. So a stack, when you implement it, is a high-risk strategy with the potential for great rewards. By using 2 players from the same team, the owner is essentially going all in and relying on that team's offense to perform well as a whole. So you are gambling on this offense. If the offense plays well, the owner benefits from nearly double the fantasy points that would be achieved without stacking. So let's show you some examples of some great stacks from the 2022 season. If you look here, we got Patrick Mahomes and we got Travis Kelce. Mahomes had the ADP in 2022 of 30th overall, so that's a mid to late 3rd round. So great value for Mahomes last year. He had a total of 482 fantasy points at the end of his 22 season. He had an average of 28.35 fantasy points per game in 2022. Kelce in 2022 had an ADP of 16. So early, mid to 2nd round. If you were drafting early, you would when I say early, you would be drafting in late April, May, June. You would see Kelce fall to you sometimes at the beginning of the 3rd round. That's why it pays to draft early. He had that ADP. So you were seeing him anywhere between mid 2nd round to early 3rd. He had a total of 309 total fantasy points in 2022. That's an average of 18.17 fantasy points per game. Now, to stack them together, you get a combining average of 46.52 points per game on your roster in your weekly matchups, whether it be redraft, whether it be best ball. So you are doubling your odds by taking the gamble on these 2 players. Another example is A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. Hurts last year was drafted at the ADP of 55, so mid to late 5th round, sometimes even early 6th round. He had a total of 412 total fantasy points. He averaged 27.46 fantasy points per game. This is all PPR format, by the way. A.J. Brown in 2022, he had an ADP of 29. Sometimes you're seeing him mid 2nd round to even mid 3rd round. I got him in a lot of leagues in mid 3rd, even 4th. He was a big winner for me last year. This stack in particular was my favorite stack last year. He had 293 total fantasy points per game, 17.23 fantasy points per game combined. Yes, Jalen Hurts missed it the last couple of weeks, but when he was playing, when these 2 were on the field together, they had an average of 44.69 fantasy points per game on average. Now, you might be telling me, oh, well, what about Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow? Jamar Chase was a 1st round pick, so that's not a great value, right? We're talking about great values right here. Nothing else, okay, and nothing less. If you're talking about, Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson individually crushed it. Kirk Cousins was a turnover machine, so he didn't really do well. So on the concept of best value, here are our top 5 2023 values now that we understand the concept of stacks. Coming in at number 5 is Trevor Lawrence and Calvin Ridley. Currently on Drafters Fantasy Sports, Trevor Lawrence has the ADP of 67, so that's a mid to late 6th round value. And on Drafters right now, Calvin Ridley has an ADP of 32, so That's mid to, I know I have 6th round here, but I'm not going to edit it. So he's mid 3rd round to early 4th round. So that's number 5. Coming in at number 4, we got Joe Burrow and T Higgins. Once again, we understand that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is a great value, but right now on Drafters Fantasy and Underdog, Jamar Chase is going off as a 2nd overall. You'd be lucky to get him at the 3rd overall. So right now, currently on Drafters, Joe Burrow has the ADP of 47. So that's late 4th to early 6th round. Once again, it's July, so Joe Burrow's coming at a great value. T Higgins is coming off the board with the ADP of 21. So that's mid 2nd to early 3rd. That's number 4. Number 3 is Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews, especially if you're drafting around the bend at either the 101 or the 112. You have a higher chance to get this stack. Currently on ADP, in terms of drafting on drafters, Lamar Jackson's got the ADP of 34, so that's late 3rd, early 4th. Mark Andrews, current ADP is 30, so that's mid 2nd to early 3rd. It's a really good stack to get. Once again, it doesn't have to be quarterback and wide receiver. Here's a very great value with a quarterback and a top 3 tight end upside. Number 2, you got Justin Herbert and Mike Williams. Current ADP for Justin Herbert right now is 56. So you're going to see him anywhere between the mid 5th to late 6th round. And then Mike Williams, his current ADP is 47. So you're going to see him early 4th to even all the way to the early 6th, because a lot of people are fading him. Where they fade him, you cash in. All right. It's smart to cash in on these guys. And coming in at number 1, in my humble opinion, I'm willing to put my entire reputation on the line for this. And I think that these guys are going to do this year what Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown did last year. It's Justin Fields and DJ Moore. Currently on drafters, Justin Fields is going off the board at 51, mid 4th to late 5th round. Currently on drafters, DJ Moore is coming off the board at the ADP of 46, so that's an early 4th to early 6th round. If you get one of these 5, you are going to exponentially improve your odds to win your redraft leagues, to win your best ball leagues on drafters or wherever else you want to draft. But if you also implement this next video into your strategy, I guarantee you, you're going to double those odds. So click on the video. I hope this helps you. Talk soon.